Integrating Lilith, returning to the kingdom. Embodiment is one of the greatest paradoxes of the human experience. Some reject the world in search of the divine. Others become so identified with the world that they forget the divine altogether. Though these expressions appear opposite, they arise from the same misunderstanding. One forgets that the world is sacred. The other forgets that the world is not the source of identity. Neither fully embodies Malkut. Integration begins when we no longer seek to escape the world or possess it. Instead, we learn to consciously participate within it. The body becomes a sacred vessel rather than an identity. The material world becomes a place through which consciousness is expressed rather than a place through which worth is obtained. This is the restoration of Malkut, not the rejection of embodiment, not attachment to embodiment, but the conscious embodiment of the divine through ordinary life. Healing repression. When embodiment is rejected, spirituality becomes disconnected from ordinary life. The body is neglected, joy becomes suspicious, pleasure becomes guilt, rest feels undeserved. The individual begins searching for God somewhere beyond the human experience. Yet Malkut teaches that the kingdom is not found by escaping life. It is found by consciously entering it. Practices. Treat your body as a sacred vessel rather than an obstacle. Eat slowly and with gratitude. Allow yourself adequate rest without guilt. Move your body each day, not to become more worthy, but to honor the life entrusted to you. Spend time in nature simply to observe. Perform ordinary responsibilities with complete presence. Prepare a meal with care. Wash the dishes with attention. Walk without nourishing. Speak without distraction. Allow ordinary moments to become sacred simply because you are fully present within them. Every act of conscious embodiment restores the relationship between spirit and matter. Healing possession. When embodiment becomes identity, life is spent seeking fulfillment through what can be acquired. Appearances become self-worth. Achievement becomes self-worth. Possessions become self-worth. Comparison becomes constant. No amount of success can satisfy a longing that was never material in nature. Malkut reminds us that the body is not who we are. It is how we experience this life. The world is not something to possess, it is something to participate in. Practice simplicity. Before acquiring something new, ask yourself, does this serve my life or my identity? Spend time with people without seeking recognition. Practice generosity without expecting acknowledgement. Express gratitude before seeking something more. Spend time doing things that cannot increase your status but nourish your soul. Notice whenever comparison arises. Rather than judging it, gently return your attention to the present moment. Remember that your value has never depended upon what you possess. It has always existed beneath it. Every act of gratitude weakens the illusion that fulfillment exists outside of yourself. Integration. As both extremes gradually soften, a new relationship with embodiment begins to emerge. The body is no longer rejected, neither is it worshipped, it is honored. The world is no longer something to escape, neither is it something through which identity must be constructed. It becomes the living temple through which consciousness expresses itself. Ordinary life gradually becomes extraordinary. Work becomes service, relationships become opportunities to embody love. Nature becomes teacher, the body becomes home. Nothing external has changed, only the relationship has changed. This is the return of Malkut. The kingdom is no longer imagined as somewhere beyond this life. It is consciously embodied within it. Recognition. As Lilith begins to integrate, subtle changes naturally emerge. You no longer feel compelled to prove your worth through external achievement. You no longer feel guilty for caring for your body. Comparison gradually loses its influence. Gratitude becomes more natural than accusation. Simplicity begins feeling peaceful rather than restrictive. Ordinary moments carry unexpected depth. You become increasingly present within daily life. The desire to escape the world begins to soften. So does the desire to possess it. Instead, you simply begin living within it consciously. These are not signs that you have become someone new. They are signs that you are remembering what has always been true. Living expression. As Malkut becomes embodied, spirituality is no longer separated from everyday life. The distinction between the sacred and the ordinary gradually disappears. Preparing a meal, working honestly, listening deeply, walking quietly, caring for the body, serving another all become expressions of the same consciousness. Life itself becomes spiritual practice. The kingdom is no longer viewed as a future destination. It becomes a living reality expressed through countless ordinary moments. Awakening is no longer something sought beyond the world. It is discovered within it. Reflection. Take a quiet moment to reflect. Ask yourself, which expression of Lilith has shaped my life more deeply, repression or possession? Which practices speak most directly to where I am today? What would change if I treated my body as a sacred vessel rather than an identity? Where can I bring greater presence into ordinary life? What does it mean for me to consciously embody the kingdom today? The kingdom has never been somewhere else, it has always been waiting to be lived. Every act of presence is an act of remembrance. Every act of remembrance is a step toward wholeness.